Mackay Ashton Langford, who is dressed, went through warm-ups, went through a full shoot-around today, and Earl Grant said is likely to see some time if all went well during that process today. And that is important as he has missed the last two, kind of coinciding with the League Bay coming back and getting healthy. So it has been a while since this team has been at full capacity. We'll see how the Eagles do today, trying to snap a 4-game skid. First chance, Bickerstaff off the assist from Jaeden Zackery.
Yeah, really nice pass by Zackery. Bickerstaff could have a huge opportunity in this game. Again, Stonehill, even though they're not going to be out-heighted, so to speak, their bigs are all mobile bigs. They're all really sort of mobile power forwards, so Bickerstaff can dominate around the basket.
Isaiah Burnett has played extremely well over the last few weeks for Stonehill. Transfer from Navy, who is in his 5th year as a grad student. Played with Stonehill the last couple of years, so he's not a new transfer into the program, but at the Division I level this year, he's been very strong so far. Langford shot not there, rebound to Thatcher Stone, a junior who came in from William and Mary. Stonehill team with 6 newcomers this year, a bunch of them transfers. Making the leap to Division I athletics officially this past July, joining the NEC, coming out of the Northeast 10. There is a League Bay. Jumper goes in and out. ACC most recently coming off a loss on Saturday in Newark, New Jersey against Villanova. There is Sims, no, but a wide open rebound for Max Zegarowski, the grad student who's played at a couple of different spots. Started his career at Lynn University, then was at Franklin Pierce. Really good three-point shooter for the Stonehill team. They made 13 threes in their loss on Wednesday night against Ryder. League Bay got it back from Zackery, facing a double team and nowhere to go. Well defended by Cole Bergen. Sims working against a League Bay. Sims trying to find space, falls away and was short.
See, a couple times now, Sims has tried to establish himself in the post, lowering that shoulder, but not able to move a League Bay or Bickerstaff.
Mason Madsen, who knocked down 3 3-pointers against Villanova. And the BC loss on Saturday. Here's Zackery, and good! That is a big one from Jaeden Zackery, who has struggled behind the arc, just 2 of 12 over his last 2 games. Earl Grant said he's taken a lot on his shoulders with some of the injuries, having to play on the ball more, having to guard the other team's best offensive player, and knocks down a big 3-pointer.
Yeah, you can see, got a half second to really set himself and square up that shot.
Zegarowski couldn't finish at the rim against Madsen. Lob for a League Bay from Langford.
Good recognition by Langford, spotted a League Bay who had raced up the floor, gotten himself in good position right under the rim, and a nice simple pass for the finish.
Madsen nearly got a steal, but it ends up with Zegarowski. Sims, free throw line. That's a little strong. So 7-4 start for Boston College. Stonehill all of a sudden just 1 of their last 7 from the floor after getting off to a good start. And this is turned over to the Skyhawks. Out front is Stone, and missed, but Sims has the rebound.
Good job by Sims, not giving up on the play there. Stone trying to make an impact and flush it down, but pretty well defended by Zackery. Sims there to clean it up in the end.
So far, Stonehill, who has not been a great offensive rebounding team this year, has 3 of them. Madsen triple is a bit strong. And a long rebound comes down to Isaiah Burnett. 3 balls. Zegarowski is good. There is no doubt that Stonehill is going to rely on the 3. We talked about even in a game they lost against Ryder on Wednesday, they made 13 of them. Well, Grant said the big conversation with his team going into this game, we have to live with some of them. Certainly have to guard and defend it, but don't get over anxious with it. Just play it out. This is kicked out of bounds off Bickerstaff. It'll be Stonehill ball when we come back. Good start from three-land from Jaeden Zackery for BC, but it's Stonehill. Picture there, the Stonehill grad of 2006, now in his 10th season at the helm of the Skyhawks. He is the only Canadian-born head coach of a Division I program right now. It's kind of amazing to think about, considering all the Canadian players we've had of late.
I was going to say, very hard to believe, given all the unbelievable talent that's come out from north of the border.
The Stonehill team, as we said, they shoot the ball extremely well. That has carried over. This was a successful Division II program in the NE10, went 15-12 last year, losing in the NE10 quarterfinals to Pace. Josh Mack in the game for the first time for Stonehill. Zackery gave it up. There is Muser who's in there for the first time, and he missed, the freshman. And here is Mackay Ashton Langford, who is out there out of the first media timeout. And after missing the last two games due to injury, it's just a huge lift. And it allows Zackery to play off the ball at times. And that shows why he's valuable in that spot.
Well, 2 threes for Zackery, and both coming off the same exact play. Excellent hustle by Penha there for the steal. But both coming off a down screen where Zackery's able to step behind, set himself, and knock down a 3.
Penha, who's in there now, McLaughlin as well. Ashton Langford, pull up 2 is a bit strong, and then a foul on the rebound will go against McLaughlin.
This one's a carbon copy of the first three-pointer he hit, right? Good screen. Zackery shows like he's going around, then just a simple little half step back to lose the defender. It creates just enough of a window where he's able to set his feet, square up, and sight the rim.
Talked to Earl Grant this morning at shoot around, and he said, this is Jaeden Zackery, who was basically our 4th scoring option maybe early in the season, who all of a sudden, because of the injuries, is now kind of the 1st scoring option when Mackay's not out there. I mean, that's quite a load to put on him, so he is adjusting to that. And the three-point shot has maybe suffered a little bit because of it, but it's looked good so far today. Good defense there by DeMar Langford on that drive by Christopher Mellons.
Yeah, it's not the minutes load, right? Zackery's essentially playing the same amount of minutes as he did last year. It's just what he's being asked to do in that time frame is a lot more. And a couple times that we've seen Sims try to drive to the basket. Zackery helping out there, doing what he does best on the defensive end.
That was only our 2nd or 3rd whistle of the game. Yep. Flown through here in the early going from Conti Forum.
Now you've jinxed us.
Well, I mean, it's basketball. Hopefully it's not too much. Zackery 3-ball was in and out. Skip pass for Sims. Waited on McLaughlin, but traveled in the process.
The good old up and down. Heels come off the floor. Can't get away with that one. And he's going to know it too, but he saw McLaughlin flying at him. And understandable why you would double clutch there. Meanwhile, even the missed 3 by Zackery, as you said, in and out.
Yep.
But same setup, right?
Yeah, the
screen high on the ball, and he's able to just use that little quick half step to create the space. Bump Stonehill, you're going to have to start figuring out how to defend that a little better.
Zackery, who was a 48% three-point shooter last year, just 9 of 34 this year coming in, but 2 already early. Corner 3, that one hit the backboard first for Burnett, and then out of bounds going to Boston College.
I'll tell you what, Stonehill has been really competitive on the glass early on. I think that's a carryover from what happened in their last game against Redden. They got crushed on the boards in the second half, out-rebounded by a 23-11 margin. So Chris Krause drilling that message home to his team, and they have come to fight on the glass here early on.
They've been out-rebounded by an average of 7.5 per game this year. And that's probably the spot where you would look at a D2 to D1 transition. It's maybe the size of some of the bigs is really being the most difficult step. There's McLaughlin inside, affected at the rim.
Well, I think a lot of people would look at it that way, that it's the size. It's not so much the size, height of the players, it's how they're utilized. I mean, you've seen Zackery, he's 6'8", but he's not playing in the post. He's playing around the arc.
Ball turned over, which goes back the other way when we come back. We've gone 2 minutes and 23 seconds without a point. Still 10-9, BC.
Probably neither. Probably some good cartoons going on.
This is the stretch that we've been talking about since the victory over Rhode Island. The Eagles have dropped 4 in a row. 3 of those away from Conti Forum. Villanova neutral site game on Saturday in Newark, New Jersey. It's the last game before a mini break going into finals here at Boston College. The Eagles will not play again until next Wednesday, the 21st into ACC play against 24th ranked Virginia Tech Hokies. Thatcher Stone got inside, and that's a clean play, no foul called, which sends Ashton Langford out front and has the friendly roll.
I feel like that's going to be important for Boston College, right? For a team that's really struggling offensively. You just saw over the last few games, really a tough slog to even crack 60 points some of those times. Get easy buckets, get out, transition, and run.
Big block by McLaughlin coming in and read it well. Stonehill's gone 4.5 minutes without a point here. Just put the Eagles up by 3. Chaz Kelly out there for the first time for Boston College. Ashton Langford thought about it. Kelly with 10. Off the window.
Really nice touch by the freshman there. Going to the offhand on the weak side.
Here's Sims inside. Double, then triple team came. And Madsen ends up committing the foul. Go back to the block.
Just great timing. Recognized that Burnett was going to have to go up on that side of the rim. 2 guys already in his face, so he doesn't see McLaughlin coming over to challenge the shot. It's been terrific. Had that tremendous game against Nebraska. Just love the energy he brings off the bench.
He's in foul trouble against Villanova, so that kind of knocks down some of the numbers on this stretch. But in the 5 games prior to Villanova, was averaging 12.5 points a game. It's up to 13th in the ACC in blocks this year. And it's kind of a rarity in college athletics right now, but took a true redshirt season last year. And Earl Grant's talked about how being able to develop and practice every day against James Karnick and Quentin Post really helped his development and has allowed him to take this leap as quickly as he has. Ashton Langford, little off the mark from 3. By the way, those free throws from Sims ended the scoring run, but it's still over 5 minutes without a field goal for Stonehill. Sims, and the 3 ball has not been there. Eagles have done a nice job defending the perimeter for the most part. Just 3 3-point attempts until now, and a 4th was well strong. Kelly on the run. Madsen transition and step back. Oh, in and out.
BC's actually the team jacking up more 3s early on.
Eric Grant mentioned how BC's a little bit better when they're closer to maybe 15 3-point attempts per game rather than the higher number which they've had over the last few games. And he said, some of that's a function of Mackay not being there, so the offense changes a little bit. And for Stonehill today, you see the shooting numbers. They're just 2 of their last 12 without a field goal in 6 minutes of game time. But I think most importantly, only 4 attempts from 3.
Yeah, Eagles have done a great job closing out, especially on these high ball screens.
That was nearly a travel played on, and the 3 ball was well off, and User knew it as soon as he let it go, and it ends up out of bounds. Some of what we're talking about with the 3-point numbers for Boston College, and as we've said, Earl Grant has made mention of the fact that his team a little bit better when the numbers are a little bit lower. This is over the last 2 seasons combined. You see, when attempting 15 threes or fewer, you see the record is much better than otherwise.
Well, on pace right now for 15 or more. Already 7 through this first half. But again, you think back to the 7 shots. Well, you're certainly not going to quibble with the 3 that Zackery's put up. He's hit 2 of them. That transition 3 by Madsen, that's a pretty good look for him. You're okay with him taking that shot. So I wouldn't quibble with most of the attempts. I think you'd have to, it's a situation where you sort of have to go back and assess as a coach. You know, is this a good 3-point shot, or is this a 3-point shot that we can get anytime and don't necessarily need it at that stage of where we are in the shot clock?
4th foul against Boston College on Prince Aligbe before the inbound. Long skip pass for Zackery. Has to recycle the offense. Still a 3-point lead for Boston College. There's Josh Beck, who's good. That ends the stretch of 6.5 minutes without a field goal for Stonehill, and they have tied the game thanks to the 3-pointer.
And you wonder if the defense they played during that stretch, allowing them to hang tight, that 3 might give them a little lift.
Zackery on the drive. No look for Bickerstaff, who can't get it to go. Both teams have certainly not lit it up offensively so far. Sims contested at the rim by Bickerstaff.
And you can see he's thinking about it. Anytime he catches the ball underneath, he knows there's a shot blocker or 2 coming to get him.
Bickerstaff out for Kelly. Had an opening for a moment. Tried to get it inside to Aligbe. And Stonehill did a nice job collecting, but it is out of bounds. And we'll stay with Boston College when we come back. Well, Stonehill finally finds the big one from 3, and we are Eagles week here at Boston College. That's why the Eagles are going a mini break before playing next Wednesday against Virginia Tech. I think we're in a moment right now in this game where there are some things defensively that perhaps both coaches are pleased with, but neither team has been able to take advantage of it because of some poor offensive moments over the last little bit of time, and that is down to Stonehill. We are right now a combined 3 for 20 from the floor between these 2 teams over the last 20 attempts.
Yeah, you'd like to chalk it up to great defense on both ends, but realistically, there's some makeable baskets in that stretch that both teams have missed.
Langford stripped from behind nearly. Josh Mack, though, commits a foul in the process.
This part is the good defense, though. Langford Jr. getting his hands in there and then forcing the foul back the other way.
Earl Grant has talked so many times in his 2 years here at the helm of Boston College how he doesn't really care what it looks like. He's talked about the mantra of gritty, not pretty, and he's told us before the game, he said, you know, it's still not even about the wins. It's about doing the right things, and he really believes if they do that, the wins will take care of themselves. That one is off the mark from Ashton Langford. But there's no doubt the Eagles are in a bit of a tough moment right now. As we've talked about the 4 losses in a row. And this is the last game going into ACC play as Shamir Johnson, the 5th year from Waterbury, Connecticut, has his first 2 and gives Stonehill the lead again. It's a long stretch, so it doesn't necessarily feel this way, but it is a 7-0 run for Stonehill over the last 3.5 minutes. Langford falling away. Big shot for DeMar to get on the board for the first time.
Yeah, and that's obviously one of the guys you'd like to see get it going for Boston College. You mentioned the mini break coming up before really the teeth of ACC play gets underway. So this is a game where you'd like to see the Eagles start to try to, you know, establish some good habits and start to build some confidence in some of their key guys ahead of conference action.
Zackery nearly had the steal, but was called for the foul in the process. So it'll be Stonehill possession once again. This is some of the impact of the players who have been out at times this year. We've talked about Langford. We've talked about Makai Ashton Langford. And then you had Aligbe, who was out and came back in a brief time against Duke, but really came back against New Hampshire. And then, as we've talked about, Donald Hand out for this season after being injured in the Detroit Mercy game. 16 apiece. Zackery is off the mark. And this is out ahead to CJ Penha. he is fouled on the way up. I was wondering if there was a travel there on Penha, but foul called.
Good recognition by Penha. That ball coming right to Zackery. Quick leak up the floor. And it looked like he did get away with a third step there.
I mean, I think the one thing that is a real positive defensively for Boston College right now is holding Stonehill 2 of 7 from 3. Maybe even notably the 7 more than the 2 is really sticking to the game plan that Earl Grant put into place tonight.
Yeah, they've really limited the opportunities. Most of those three-point attempts have been fairly well contested. BC's doing a good job communicating. They're seeing a lot of high ball screens. They're doing a good job either switching or double teaming, hedging off those screens and then getting back.
Free ball is in and out, so another one off the mark. Isaiah Burnett is a 32% three-point shooter. He's 0 for 2 out there tonight. He's nearly stripped from behind, and it is going to stay here.
Zackery and Penha not on the same page there. Zackery tried to thread the needle through.
So Boston College will inbound with 18 on the timer. Ashton Langford, who's played good minutes in this first half so far, and 4 points for Mackay. And only played 9 minutes in the game against Duke, so he's really missed most of the last 3 games, though officially missed the last 2. Burnett, nice feed inside. The Eagles collapsed on it, but it sets up Zackery, who again, pretty good look from 3, but it's not there. Then a fastball is picked off by Shamir Johnson. Zackery will find Burnett, sets his feet. 3 ball is not that close. And back we go with Zackery. Here is Penha. Penha on the drive. Penha floater, and that's the one that goes.
I think that thing touched the rafters before it came down. It's a rainbow and a half.
It is a 6-0 run for the Eagles. And Mackay Ashton Langford comes up with the steal and the lay-in, and a timeout taken by Stonehill. Well, a mini 10-0 run for Boston College, who all of a sudden is setting the offensive world on fire. They've made 4 shots in a row. 24-16, back in a bit. .24-16 lead for Boston College, and the Eagles' best stretch of the game here of late.
Yeah, how about this? Nice touch on the floater from CJ Penha, and then this is really where BC can have its impact. Defense to offense, great vision by Mackay Ashton Langford, spotting where that ball is going to go, sneaks around the corner, picks Zackery's pocket, and takes care of it going the distance.
This is where, in a game like this for Boston College, and you kind of take over this game. It feels like there's a moment here of potential momentum run to kind of put this game out of reach at the end of the first half. But can you do it? Played well defensively so far. Is there a run to be had? It's 10 at the moment for BC, and that is McLaughlin, who got a piece and then pulled an Archidiakono nearly, going over towards some of the Boston College administrators who have already been knocked over once this week. Penha step back, and a 3, and good! 7 for CJ Penha. It's 13 in a row for BC.
I had a feeling this could be a big game for him. He's been a huge spark plug off the bench all season long, and with his ability to stretch the floor, just hustles, makes plays on both ends. He's having a solid first half.
Burnett's floater was off. I mean, for a team that shoots as well as Stonehill does, it is just kind of shocking to see them shooting the ball this poorly. Zackery with a nice step back, but you give credit to Boston College, who's played really well defensively. And as Earl Grant told us before the game, we need to contest every 3, even if they're going to make some, and the Eagles, to their credit, have. That was a pretty good look, and it did not go. It's a 15-0 run. It's an 18-0 run. And another timeout by Stonehill. CJ Penha up to 10 points. Almost all of them are on this run. 18 in a row for BC. It's a 32-16 lead for Boston College thanks to an 18-0 run where the Eagles have knocked down 7 shots in a row compared to 0 of 6 for Stonehill over the last 3.5 minutes.
A little bit of malaise offensively to start this one off, but CJ Penha, Makai Ashton Langford helping to light the torch for the Eagles.
Straight on 3 good for Thatcher Stone to end the run. So it ends at 18. And that was a shot for Stonehill made after missing 6 in a row from the floor. And that is an offensive foul on McLaughlin. And that is the second foul, so second game in a row in foul trouble for Devin McLaughlin.
Yeah, really tough against Villanova. I mean, fouling out is one thing. Fouling out in 7 minutes is impressive.
Yeah, just got into foul trouble early and never really got into a rhythm. So what's coming up at halftime, hoping to speak with both coaches, and we'll get to know the Boston College basketball team a bit off the floor. Josh Mack inside it now has 5. So Stonehill has a couple points in a row here, back with 5 straight. It's an 11-point lead. Mason Madsen's back out there for BC with 2 fouls, launching a 3-ball that Josh Mack finds a way to rebound. I mean, the one positive for Stonehill, I think, is they've been really competitive on the glass today. Corner 3, no from Mellis, but another offensive board and a second one, and the putback good. And now Earl Grant calls for time. That was the first breakdown in a while defensively after some good sequences for Boston College. So Earl Grant will chat it over. So after 18 points in a row for Boston College, 7 straight points for Stonehill. Tell me about that timeout for Earl Grant. What's he using that for?
Rebound the ball. 2 straight offensive rebounds for Stonehill on the other side, and not much of a contest on the offensive putback either.
Zackery, good look. And a very impressive first half for Jaeden Zackery, who is now Boston College's leading scorer with 11, including 3 of 4 from behind the arc. And that is a much-needed sight for BC. Well answered by Shamir Johnson.
Much-needed sight for Stonehill as well. It had some trouble knocking down threes. All of a sudden, they hit 2 straight. That's going to ignite the rest of the team. Johnson's been the guy all year, better than 50% from deep off the bench.
Zackery in and out. And a Stonehill rebound. I don't know if this was like an NBA 2K game or something where someone went from like all-pro difficulty on offense to like rookie, but all of a sudden the offense has come to life both ways after we had some tough moments early. It's 35-26 Boston College with 1:10 remaining here in the first half. And here is Mack against Penha. Nice back cut, but missed at the rim by Christopher Mellons. Possession will stay here with the Skyhawks.
A rare situation where Jaeden Zackery gets caught sleeping a little bit, watching the ball, and doesn't see his man cutting right to the rim.
That was pretty well defended off the inbounds by TJ Bickerstaff. Not as good as the Eagles could have done there. Langford had it stripped from behind and on the floor trying to save it, but Stonehill's back the other way with possession. Extra pass, corner 3, Stone, no. And the Eagles with about a 6-second difference between the possession and the game here at the end of the first half.
Really good contest there by Zackery. He was able to sort of fly out at Stone without coming anywhere close to landing on him, still sort of throwing off his vision on that shot.
Langford got rid of it. Penha, 3-ball at the end of the timer, no. Rebound off of Madsen, ends up with Mellis at the buzzer. It's short from Shamir Johnson. So Stonehill goes on a little bit of a run late.
Starts to believe a little bit more.
I think if you had told Earl Grant you'd be getting 4 of 15 from 3 for Stonehill. He would have signed up for that for sure out of that first half. Penha really, the 10 points, as we talked about a bunch, sparking the run. It was pretty crucial. I think 8 of his 10 were part of that 18-0 run for BC. Here's Sims inside. It was really held in check in that first half. 4 points on 1 of 5 shooting for Sims, who came in, as we talked about off the top of the show, averaging 17 points a game. And he will go to the foul line early. Neither team got the bonus in that first half. Not a ton of fouls either way, a lot of shots up.
It'll be interesting to see because that was a call that Sims wasn't getting early on. So now if he's getting that call in the second half, creates a whole new dynamic.
That's the first foul on TJ Bickerstaff. Here are some of the numbers on Sims, who's been really good of late and all season long. We've talked about the 3rd in the NEC in points per game. He was an NE10 third-team selection last season for Stonehill.
Rare 0 for 2 trip of the line for a guy who shoots at 86%.
Both teams have been good from the stripe. Each were 2 of 2 and limited chances in the first half. Here is Burnett, nearly taken away by Langford. Burnett got a shot up out of it, though. And then a floater for Bickerstaff, who waits and is fouled and has the bucket.
But look at the smile on his face. He feels like it's been waiting for an eternity for one of these to drop for him. Great recovery defense by Langford Jr. after he gives up the turnover on the other end. Madsen helps compete for the rebound. Great outlet pass, Zackery. And then Bickerstaff, good composure on the finish.
So 38-26 is the Boston College lead. CJ Bickerstaff up to 5 points now. Got off to such a fast start offensively this season at double-doubles in each of his first 2 games. Rebounding numbers have continued to be strong. Top 10 of the ACC this year for Bickerstaff. Sims against Aligbe. And that's a rebound down to TJ Bickerstaff.
And Sims just trying to muscle Aligbe off the spot, but Aligbe, such a strong customer in his own right. You're not going to move him easily.
Aligbe, who played 9 minutes in that first half for Earl Grant. Here is DeMar Langford. As the Eagles, again, content to work deep into the timer. And all things considered, shot the ball pretty well in that first half. Bickerstaff was affected from behind by Sims. He ended up shooting 47% in the first half, which at one moment certainly felt hard to believe, but then got hot, as we talked about. 7 for 7 from the floor on the 18-0 run. That was well defended. Aligbe on the drive, right hand is fouled.
You could feel him trying to set up Zackery for the move there, and that's maybe a little bit of a generous whistle for Aligbe. It looked like Zackery went straight up and down there. Aligbe won't mind it again. This is still, shown well through this first half of the season, but again, you always have to remember he's a freshman, so there's always going to be some adjustment in terms of figuring out what he can and can't do at this level.
And was injured just 4 minutes into the game against Detroit Mercy, and then missed some time, came back, got in the game against Duke for 4 minutes before he's come back and kind of feeling it out, limited minutes against New Hampshire and Villanova. And so far today, he has 3 points. And BC's lead is 39-26. Sims is fouled. Looked like that was Aligbe. And all of a sudden, a much choppier game than what we saw in the first half.
It's coming up, holding his face. Yeah, Aligbe got him on the follow through there. Well, this has been a interesting one, certainly, where it's taken its twists and turns, where for, a good part of 10, 12 minutes, feels like nobody can throw the ball in the ocean, then nobody can miss. Now you get one where all of a sudden it looks like free throws are going to have a huge impact on the second half.
As we said, neither team got into the bonus in the first half, so we just had 4 total free throw attempts in the first half. We've already had 5 here in the second. Langford elbow is a bit strong. Offensive rebound came down to Bickerstaff. Finds its way to Aligbe, who was affected at the rim. And then finally pulled by Stonehill. It was Ethan Muser who found the ball on the court. Possession back the other way. Sims didn't realize he had the advantage on Langford for a moment, but then finds the lefty floater. Good look from Sims. $15 points a game last year, and he's managed to raise it this year in his first D1 season, and then fouls Bickerstaff on the attempt at the rim.
Nice old school post play here from Sims. Just waits for the rest of his teammates to clear out. Waits for Madsen on the poke, and then this little old school hook shot. I imagine DeMar Langford finds himself defending true post players a whole lot.
Bickerstaff knocks down the free throw. TJ's is a 55% free throw shooter this year. 6 points, 5 rebounds for Bickerstaff tonight. (41-29) Boston College. Got switched onto Aligbe, got by him, and then finds the cutter. Floater good from Mellis. That's a season high for Mellis with 4 points for the sophomore. Zackery twisting. Aligbe for Langford inside against a couple of defenders and draws the foul.
A couple times Stonehill's gotten some easy baskets off cuts. See it a couple times here. Nice job by Mellis, waiting for Mack to get underneath, draw the extra man, and then slashes to the rim. It's easy dish.
Langford short from the foul line. I mean, this has been a totally different half. And virtually entirely at the foul line.
And both teams definitely appear more committed to attacking the rim. I think we saw both sides settle for a lot of three-point shots in the first half, which if you're Stonehill, you say, well, this is part of our game, so it's okay as long as they're good looks. Boston College ended up making more.
And certainly committed to getting Sims going for Stonehill. It's 8 points, beg your pardon, 9 points for Andrew Sims.
Well, and you heard what Chris Krause said coming out of halftime, right? Is he wanted his team to sort of just have that belief factor more.
Zackery on the layup for Boston College. He has 13.
And that includes Sims, who you saw was kind of short-arming some of those shots inside, afraid of the shot blockers in the first half. Well, now he's saying, well, I'm going strong whether you like it or not. Foul me or I'm getting the bucket.
Back to the bucket, no. Langford sends it out, Madsen. Extra pass, Zackery on the drive, but the floater was effective. A defensive sequence by Stonehill there late after the Eagles looked to be a pass ahead on the sequence. Still an 11-point game. Mack for Sims. Again going against Aligbe.
Saw McLaughlin.
Langford got a piece of that, and then it bounced off Mack. It finds Langford. Eagles will get a possession. It's Madsen who's short from three.
Still feels like he's trying to find his shot. Thought he had it going against Villanova, knocked down a couple threes against the Wildcats in the loss, but still trying to find his rhythm from the outside.
Now, first couple of looks look good, but still 0 for 4 from behind the arc tonight. Remember, we were talking about the Eagles' three-point attempts. They really seemed like they were going to be elevated again early. They've not had as many here of late. 5 for 13 in the game. Stonehill 4 of 16. An 11-point lead for Boston College. League Bay had it stripped. Langford was there. Ball still loose. Played it out. And Shamir Johnson came away with it. Here is Sims. Just put his head down and threw a foul. Sims certainly has come alive here in the second half. He will go to the line to try to get to double figures. Eagles holding on to an 11-point lead over the main dog of his Stonehill attack so far in the second half.
Yeah, you can see he's really, started to believe in himself more in the low post, especially here in the second half. He's drawn a couple fouls, some nice low post moves, opening up to that left hand. Can score in a variety of ways. We talked about his ability to knock down the outside shot, but he has really looked to attack the basket. He's finding some more effectiveness here in the second half.
You see the difference in the numbers, and of course, we just hit the first media window of this second half. Sims will come out now after knocking in a couple of free throws, so he is into double figures. 11 points, and it brings Stonehill back within 9. Ashton Langford back into the game for Boston College. Played 10 minutes so far for Earl Grant, coming back from injury. Zackery rises and off the mark. Saw a couple of mini runs. Stonehill 7-0 at one point, answering the Eagles 18-0 significant run in that first half. A little choppier to start the second. Is there a run to be had either way? Penha floater. Boy, he's had the touch. Boy, CJ Penha, the grad student, coming in from Division II, Trevecca Nazarene, and originally played 2 years at Taylor University in the NAIA. He just keeps scoring. I mean, Boston College.
It's remarkable to go back and sort of chart his career history and how quick his ascension has been.
Really capable scorer at times in the starting lineup, at times off the bench, that BC has needed in big spots. That jumper was good from Johnson to give him 7. So we fluctuated between an 11 and 9-point Boston College lead, coming on up on 12 minutes remaining here in the game. Madsen got stuck inside, and it cycles around to Zackery. Jaeden on the drop. Jaeden is blocked, and it is Stonehill ball.
Blocked off of him. Adding insult to injury there. Excellent block by Penha, showing he can get it done on both ends of the floor. You felt like this was going to be a good matchup for him, just in terms of he's a mobile big. For the most part, he's going to be playing against mobile bigs. You saw the success he had at the Division II level last year. So you felt like this would be an opponent he might be able to sort of sink his teeth into a little bit. And he's had exactly that type of impact coming off the bench.
Nice little fake, but then Ashton Langford read it well after Thatcher Stone got around Zackery and knocked it out of bounds. 6 to shoot when we come back. 46-37 BC. Contributed major points when Boston College has needed them this evening.
Not just tonight, but really all season long. Penha's come up big in several spots, and really feels like he's taking advantage of the opportunity with Quentin Post down in the early part of the season. You don't know what Penha's role would have been without that injury, but he's gotten an opportunity. He's making the most of it.
Remember, only 6 to shoot off of that sequence. But the quick trigger seemed a bit early, but it ended up cycling around on an offensive rebound. And then Isaiah Burnett on this drive couldn't get the dunk down, but did get fouled.
Nice find by Bergen. Burnett with acres of open space. It looked like Kelly really just tried to play Matador there and get out of the way of the onrushing bull, but I guess grazed him enough to be called for the foul.
Worth noting, Boston College has 4 players with 2 fouls right now. Zackery, Aligbe, McLaughlin, and Madsen. Just Bergen with 2 fouls on the Stonehill side. 2 misses at the line by Burnett. Even there, surprising for Stonehill, best free throw shooting team in the NEC, just 5 of 10. And most of that's been in the second half where they've struggled.
And Sims, a lot of that missed his first 3. So, you know, not a guy you expect to miss 3 straight at any point, really during the season almost.
Zackery, 3-ball, good. At time, clean look. 8 for Zackery.
Yeah, one of the few times Penha got caught sleeping on the defensive end, late to get out. Zackery makes him pay.
It is 48-40. Stonehill as close as they've been in the second half. Penha, that time it rolls off. He has not gotten many unfriendly bounces so far this year. Picked off by Ashton Langford. Nice read on the pass attempt from Stone, and then Mackay is fouled.
You see Penha caught, not knowing whether he's switching with Kelly there. So he's a step late. Zackery able to settle and knock down the 3. Bench loving it, but then Mackay Ashton Langford again getting himself in the passing lane. Just love his vision in transition. You know, so calm with the ball, able to assess what the defense is trying to take away and get himself to the free throw line or get a teammate an open look.
One of 2 for Mackay. That is 7 points in 13 minutes. 3 rebounds coming back from injury today for Mackay Ashton Langford. 49-40 lead BC. Burnett, started there by Langford, got it back. Sims is back in there. Sims got room. Andrew Sims with 13.
Again, feels like they like that matchup. They're trying to target it with Sims against DeMar Langford. A couple times now, he's just giving him the body bump. Langford's given up a little bit of ground in the process.
Mackay Ashton Langford was trying to get it to McLaughlin that time.
It's a bit of a tough angle on that entry pass.
3-ball, short from Johnson.
I think you would have seen a BC timeout had that one gone down.
Stonehill has continued to stay close, and that is a foul for a reach-in against Johnson.
Skyhawks have been doing great on the defensive end too, switching frequently. See the work inside, just hits him with the body once, twice, gets him to shift back a little bit. Nifty spin move opens up the easy finish.
McLaughlin inside.
I don't know how Ashton Langford finds that angle on the pass. Terrific wraparound backhand pass. McLaughlin just able to sky above everybody.
Back to a 9-point game. Burnett, best move in a while. He had been held in check with just 2 points.
That's a good adjustment by Stonehill, right? BC doesn't switch. So this time it's Langford staying on Burnett, and Burnett just hits him with the same move that Sims just did.
McLaughlin, good find for CJ Penha. Sixth time in double figures for CJ Penha this year, and he is too short of a Division I career high.
Great ball denial by Zackery.
BC possession. How good is that find by McLaughlin to see the double team and slip it to Penha?
Well, you see what Eau Grande's been doing with that front court, right? He's basically playing them in pair shifts. So he starts with Aligbe and Bickerstaff, then he brings in McLaughlin and Penha, and I think right now, at least tonight, the combination of McLaughlin and Penha is just giving him a lot more on both ends.
Here is Penha against Sims. Double team came. Somebody's open. Zackery three ball is strong. Eagles cycle the offense well, but Zackery just a bit strong on the corner three. Sims thought about the answer. Instead on the drive and working with the left hands.
See, now he's got confidence in his game, so he's able to go up against anybody.
And it looked like there was a whistle before the inbounds. And Mackay Ashton Langford's been teed up by Ted Valentine. It looked like he blew the whistle. And then Mackay Ashton Langford had some words after the fact.
I think he thought he got the ball in before the whistle came.
So either way, we will step aside. 7:31 remaining here in the second half. And after the technical foul, Stonehill will have a free throw coming up. 53-46 is the Boston College lead. So 53-46. And here is the technical that was eventually called. It's not called there. That was just a stoppage of play. He was trying to stop and then obviously ruling that perhaps the guy was saying something under his breath, whatever it was. Ted Valentine calling the technical foul. So 2 shots and the ball for Stonehill. And really in an important moment right here with 7:31 remaining in the second half, 53-46. So 1 of 2 at the line. Beg your pardon, 2 shots. It remains Boston College possession.
Yeah, they don't get the turnover for the technical foul, but you wonder if Ashton Langford will be back at some point. May depend on how this next little stage goes. If BC is able to sort of bounce back, build a little more cushion.
McLaughlin, who tried to, thought he had the lane, but you got to catch it first. And it'll be Stonehill ball.
Just felt like the ball's getting stuck a little bit on the offensive end for BC right now. Just not able to distribute it cleanly either to the post or and sometimes out along the perimeter. Stonehill doing a good job crowding the space.
Cycles around Zackery. 4 to shoot. Sims launching and strong. Feels like a moment either way right here.
A little bit of a shift defensively that time. They had Jaeden Zackery in on Sims, which you would think would be a mismatch in favor of Sims. Said oftentimes Zackery has drawn the other team's best offensive weapon. Well, that's definitely been Sims in the second half.
5 to shoot. Penha for 3. Decent look with Zackery getting a hand in his face. Eagles have not scored in 2.5 minutes. Mack again. Lost the handle on the drive. Zackery out front. Behind the back look. Penha, who is fouled.
Penha, who caused that steal with a little poke, knocked it off Mack's knee. You can see him Muser again trying to get out of the way. It's the second time a guy trying to sort of pull out of the way of a guy driving to the rim has gotten called for that block. certainly do not feel envious of those players. I'm not trying to bump them, not trying to make contact. I'm literally giving them the space, calling for a foul. And that kind of half, though. We saw it very early on established in the first few minutes with, a lot of those whistles attacking the rim.
Grant called over Zackery and Langford and Madsen there ahead of the free throw, which is off the mark. Penha ends the scoring drought. 1 of 2 at the line. He is 1 shy of his BCI. Leading the Eagles with 15 points. Sims has 15 on the other side to match for Stonehill. Burnett sends it. Zackery. And the Skyhawks have cut it to a 4-point game.
Again, plenty of time to set and fire. Langford thinking about the rebound, crashing the rim. Doesn't get out in time. Zackery doing what he does best.
Zackery, 7 to shoot. Jaeden got inside. Big take by Zackery, who's up to 15.
Yeah, really good patience there. He saw the double team come, feigned pulling it back out. That gave him the space to go back to a one-on-one matchup, and he did a great job elevating. Caught Mac flat-footed, and that gave him the space to bank it in.
Mac had to get airborne to catch that pass. Nice strip by BC as Muser lost the handle. Stonehill 5 of their last 7 from the floor. Langford, 5 to shoot, working against Sims. Lost his footing, but somehow kept the pass alive. Zackery floater is off. 4 minutes to go here in Chestnut Hill, and Stonehill hanging tough. It has been a game of runs, and Stonehill on one at the moment. Sims inside, back to 4.
Good quick turn again. He just sort of lulls you to sleep by leaning on you, and then just some terrific footwork inside to split that double team.
Zackery inside, blocked, but a foul. So BC will go to the line, up by 4, but it's an 8-3 Stonehill run in this game. And you see the work he's done in the second half for the Skyhawks.
Well, it's been a massive turnaround for Stonehill in this second half, shooting better than 50% from the floor. And Sims is a big part of the reason why. You heard again Chris Krause talk about it coming out of halftime, saying we have to believe. We just have to believe we can play. And Sims, I think, was really sort of the focal point of that. You saw in the first half, he was sort of shying away from going into the contact. Second half, he has not been shy at all. He is initiating the contact on a lot of these BC defenders, and that's what's given him the space to make some of those layups.
Zackery 1 of 2 at the line. He is tied a season high with 16 points.
Interesting to see Earl Grant roll out his smallest lineup of the day here for what is essentially now crunch time for the Eagles. And McLaughlin really the only big on the floor.
And Makai Ashton-Langford back in there. And that is out of bounds and going back to BC.
And instantly Makai Ashton-Langford makes his impact felt on the defensive end. How many times does it feel like he's just sort of halted a run, whether it's getting his hands on a pass, getting in a passing lane, a deflection? He's forced a number of turnovers tonight.
So the lead is 5. fluctuated early in the half between 11 and 9 points. Stonehill hanging in. Langford hanging in the air and couldn't finish at the rim.
Really good look on the cut by McLaughlin. One just pops out for DeMar Langford.
Ellis, trapped, had to dish it off with 13 to shoot. Sims going to work. And a spin. And back to his left. And had it stripped.
Good help from Madsen there. Got to be careful here if you're Boston College. If you're going to double down and help out on Sims, you got to know if you're coming off a shooter or not.
Turned over, and then a held ball. Possession will stay here with Stonehill.
Good job by McLaughlin there, recognizing the lob and just out-jumping Sims to go get it. Good hustle play by Burnett to tie him up and steal the possession back.
Burnett had to go reaching for it. Burnett on the trot. Knocked away by Zackery. And it will stay here with 7 to shoot for Stonehill.
He was sure he knocked that ball off Burnett out of bounds.
Not inside of 2 minutes, so no review. 4 to shoot. Burnett throws one up and is fouled.
Well, credit for Burnett for recognizing the way this game is going right now. You know, if you're putting your head down and going to the rim, more often than not, you're getting the benefit of a call. That time, late in the shot clock, he knows he's got to get something up, so he does just that.
Free throws have been a struggle in this second half. BC just 8 of 13, and Stonehill most notably. I mean, this is a Stonehill team that led the NEC and came in, if they were allowed to statistically count, they're new to Division I, so their stats don't count in the statistics in the same way, which is an oddity of the transition to D1. This would be the 6th best free throw shooting team in the country. They're 5 of 12 in the second half. And still, by the way, down 4.
Still very much in this game. Yeah, don't get me started on the whole transition rule process. That's a manifesto you don't want to hear.
Pass was ahead of McLaughlin. It's taken away. Down to 90 seconds left, and the lead is 4. Burnett, as it cycles around for Stonehill, and here is Sims.
It's a mismatch.
Got Madsen, McLaughlin trying to help, and does allow Madsen to switch off, and then gets the turnover.
Well, they rushed it. They tried to find the open man as Madsen was trying to find his assignment. They wanted Zackery open in the corner, but McLaughlin was too close with his reach, able to swipe that pass out of midair.
Earl Grant will call for time. Eagles will try to draw something up. 1:03 to go. BC up by 4. Second half, it's a 57-53 lead for Boston College over Stonehill. And I think the most amazing thing about this is not even so much that we're here and Stonehill is in this game, but how they're in this game without really a great three-point shooting game.
Yeah, this game has not at all gone according to script, even though we thought it could be a close game. The script for this being a close game is not at all how you would have thought it would have gone.
Zackery on the drive, got all the way to the 10. Oh boy, he had the look, but couldn't finish. And Langford got hit, is behind the play, and it's turned over. Madsen to the bucket, is blocked, but it will count. Oh my, so much happened in that sequence. Zackery had a great take, missed. Stonehill had the opportunity, but then threw it away.
Zackery with a tip there leads Madsen onto the run out. Mac, yeah, it looks like he just gets it after it's on the glass.
They have gone over to the monitor and will review the goaltending. If it stands, it would be a 6-point lead for Boston College with 37.9 to go.
And how about that for a way to get your first bucket, right?
What a sequence down the stretch.
Boy, that's really, really close. And again, this is one of those situations where you have to find indisputable evidence to overturn the call. I don't know if there's anything.
You know, it's interesting. We've had one or two sequences, that last one that we just saw, and then one a little bit earlier as well, where it felt like there was a real moment for Stonehill to take a stranglehold on some level of a comeback. Just got sped up a little bit.
Well, exactly. The last two possessions, you know, trying to rush a pass into the backcourt, either looking for a quick shot or trying to get BC, you know, mismatched defensively. But both times rushing the pass, either a deflection in a steal or a straight out steal. Those are sort of the learning curves, right? You know, for a team in transition, you know, those are the things that maybe you get away with last year that you're not going to get away with this year.
So this is very close, again, on a goaltend. And important to note, as you said, that the call on the floor was goaltending and a good basket. 37.9 to go. The call on the floor will stand as called, so the basket counts. And one more look.
Yeah, it's one of those when you watch it on replay, you just think it's so difficult to discern one way or another. And just whatever the first call was going to be, that's what was going to be the call.
We've talked about it a few times. Another moment where Stonehill has gone 3 minutes without a field goal. We've had these runs today where both teams have just not been able to find baskets from the floor. Zackery nearly got a steal. It ended up opening up Sims for three. What a shot.
And he got caught reaching. Sims, who has not looked for that outside shot all day, finally gets one when he needs it most, and now the pressure is on for BC at the free throw line.
This is the one thing that can happen when you go for the steal sometimes. I mean, it just ended up working out perfectly for Sims, who's up to 20 points in the game. His fifth time with 20 points in his first Division I season. Pretty amazing stuff. So Madsen at the line. And as you said, just had his first 2 points on the goaltend and makes a big free throw to keep it a two-possession game.
On a day where free throw shooting's been a little bit ugly for both teams, I don't think there's any other guy you'd rather have at the line if you're Earl Grant.
Made two late in a key spot against New Hampshire before the Wildcats ended up tying the game from three, the game that Boston College would have.
Well, certainly going to have lots of experience in close games of the Eagles as they go into ACC play. Maybe wishing some of those had gone more in their direction, but you know, the pressure amps up a notch now after this week off, basically.
I mean,
you
if
got
you're
a week to get ready, and
right now, you just are doing anything you can to escape this 22.7 seconds, find a win, go into this break. And if you're Stonehill, this first Division I season, what a massive lift this could be. But work to do. Down by 5, 22.7 to go. Down 1-3 a moment ago. Don't necessarily need one now, but it is getting late early. Burnett, taken away by Zackery. Shot clock off. Eagles get fouled with 7.3 to go, and that might just about do it.
Boy, that has been the man. Found his offensive game early, but his defense has been solid all year long. You show him that ball, even a millimeter of it, and his hands are super quick. He will pick your pocket.
Zackery with his third steal of the game. Glockton makes one, and this is really the big one. Even with 7.3 to go, make it 3 and say goodnight. Game effort from Stonehill today in their first Division I season. Sims late, no good, and Boston College survives. 63-56 the final. And the Eagles will take a 6-6 record into the heart of the ACC season in 8 days.
Well, I think survive.